friends, and welcome to another edition of the Social Development Outlook for Tuesday, 24th March 2020. I am your host, Shania Pemberton. Just to remind you that this program is hosted and produced by the Communications Unit within the Ministry of Social Development. And every single week, we strive really hard to highlight the movers and shakers within this ministry and other related departments. At this point in time, we'll take our first break and I'll be right back.
Safe sex is the best sex.
No glove, no love.
Protect your pleasure.
Real men wear condoms.
It's your favorite DJ Kevy Kev saying, don't be silly, cover your willy. Oh.
This message was brought to you by the NIVIS HIV/AIDS Coordinating Unit in collaboration with NTB/AIDS.
And we are back. An interview was conducted on the 3rd of March in the village of Newcastle with one of our very own seniors, Mr. Pinney, at his residence. We're now taking this clip.
Good day, viewers, and we're here in the village of Newcastle, and right on my left, you know, in Nevis we not only respect but we revere our seniors. And right on my left, I'm not certain if I am being out of place to refer to him as a senior, being as though he looks very young and is still moving around very sturdily. But here on my left is Mr. Pinney. I'm not certain what your first name is, sir, so would you mind telling us the first name?
My name is Edward Winston Pinney.
Okay, Edward Winston Pinney. Seems to be somewhat of a familiar name, but we'll go on and see where we can get with him. So, Mr. Pinney, in your younger years, first thing first, are you originally from Newcastle or elsewhere?
I am from Newcastle. Actually, this same spot is where I was born and raised. Yeah, this same spot.
So you were, when you say born, do you mean literally like you was born here in this yard or in the village of Newcastle in some...
Same very yard. Same very yard. Even though it's more developed than before, the same spot in Newcastle.
Okay then, nice. So, how old are you exactly?
Well, my last birthday, which was December last, 74.
74 strong. 74 young and very strong. So, yes, Mr. Pinney, let's start with your schooling. Of course, I have no idea what type of schools they had back then in your time. So, I would like for you to just tell us of what primary school you may have went to back then, and if there was a high school, what was the name of that high school?
Well, the school that I attended in my youth days was Combermere School. Yeah. I didn't have a chance to attend the high school, which was the secondary school. I didn't have a chance to, but my final years in school was at the Combermere School.
Okay, so up until what grade did you attend the Combermere School?
Until up to the 7th grade. I think that was the highest grade in the school at that time.
Brilliant. And just a quick challenge. Could you remember who, what was the name of the principal of that school during your time?
We had more than one principal. I think one was Mr. Elliot, Charles Elliot. Another one was Mr. Richards. And another one was Mr. Griffin. I think those were the principals that I could remember.
Okay, so you went through at least three principals in your time. Okay. Now, subsequent to going to school, like immediately after school, what did you do first as a profession?
Not sure if it was a profession, but my first, I must say, job was I was employed at the Nisbet Plantation Inn. Yeah, as a gardener, and then I was upgraded to house up in the housekeeping.
And how long did you stay at that that area of work?
Well, not very long, because if you could remember, shortly after, I think the Cliff Dwellers was started to construct, and there I do a lot of my work here at Cliff Dwellers, both as a laborer and an operator of front-end loader and truck driver.
Okay. Now, based on what I am hearing, you seems to be very versatile when it comes to doing work or handiwork around the place. What would you say is your optimal or your best art work as it relates to doing any kind of profession? I hear you say you was a gardener, etc. What would you say is something that is optimal to you?
Well, the most important thing or most industrious part of it was after I start go fishing. That was my main job. Up to now, it's something I still love, even though I do not do it any longer.
Oh, I was just about to ask you to still go out to the seas.
No, I started it in the 70s, early 70s, and I gave it up in 2014. 2014 was my last
That's
time
recently.
out there.
That's just 6 years ago.
Yeah, that was about 6 years ago. The main thing is because I did took ill. I was hospitalized for a while. And then since I recovered from my illness, I must say my children decided that no more on the seas for me. But if you notice just behind me, there is some fish traps. I still make the fish traps, make them and get them together, and one of the son take them out and look after them.
No, they may have give you somewhat of they might have restrict you from going out to the seas as a result of your ailment. But this morning when we came over here, we saw you coming from the mountainside. Do you still go to the mountains to do anything? Do you have livestock or anything of the sort?
I have livestock. Both me and my son have some animals just back of us. But where I was coming from actually this morning was off my job. I have a little job from the government. I look after Charles Road, clean both sides of the road. I don't know if you know that type of job where I cut grass and the bushes to the side of the road for 3 hours every day per day. But I go out very early in the morning. I actually start work about 5:45 and I finish about 8:45. So that's where I was coming from this morning. But after I leave there at mornings, I usually go over in my farm. I do some farming also, where my father had the land from the government before. But since he died, both me and one of my sons stake meet up and we do some farming there. So after I leave here, there is where I will go for maybe about an hour or hour and a half and then back home.
So you went out for 3 hours this morning, and your intention is to go back out for another 1.5 to 2 hours.
At least that.
Still very industrious, and kudos to the government for employing Mr. Penny at his age to keep on doing something and making his own source of income. So moving forward now, Mr. Penny, as it relates to church, did you attend any church, and if so, what was the role, if any, you played in that particular church or churches?
Actually, I am a believer. Yeah, I guess you know what that means. I'm born again child of God. I actually attend the Rehoboth Church of God, Libert Hill, which is pastored by Pastor David Jones. Is where I attend church.
Did you play any role in that church?
Well, I am not sure if you does have a chance to listen to One Radio every Sunday afternoon. Every Sunday afternoon, we go at One Radio, make a radio broadcast for an hour, from 5 to 6.
Yes.
One Sunday the ladies would go, and the other Sunday the men would go. Just recently, just last Sunday, the men went, which I was very, very much instrumental in that area.
Now, besides schooling and besides church going and all those other activities, how else would you say that you would have contributed to the community or the village of Newcastle?
Well, you said, even before I start work for the government with a salary, I does contribute by when I see, like say the road needs a bit of cleaning, I will go with my shovel.
And that was even before you were gainfully employed.
That was before. I will go with my shovel and my cutlass and I will do some cleaning, voluntary, free of grounds before that.
Now, we'll be wrapping up this interview just now, but before we do, there's a plethora of young people out there who, is in need of some guidance and words of wisdom, especially coming from individuals such as yourself. What would you say? Anything of the sort. What would you say to those young people moving forward as it relates to liberty and the way how they should live, what they should do, what not do, etc.?
Well, the first thing I would recommend with any young person is to seek God. That is the main and most important thing in any individual life, is to make sure God is the head of their lives. And then, as for young people, and especially the boys, I would like to encourage them to try a bit of the fishing. Yeah.
Is there something therapeutic about it?
Well, as I said, my father before me was a fisherman, and I became a fisherman, and two of my sons right now is fishermen. So that's why I would advise, them to try fishing.
Okay, trying a little further, just a little bit further. What are the benefits of fishing? Why are you so encouraging of young ones to enter into that field? Is it because it's simply a passion of yours, or because you know from first hand that it is something that is extremely beneficial?
It is something that is benefit to the community and the island on a whole. Especially that we on the island of Nevis looking forward for tourists to attend our shows. And when tourists come to our shows, they're looking for what we have. And what we have, one of the main things is fish. And they always goes out for fish, looking for fish. So I really encourage them to try the fishing industry.
Okay, Mr. Pennywell, thanks for your sound advice, and thanks for allowing us a moment with yourself here at your own residence. And you are very sound in mind for 74, 3 scores plus 10 plus 4. You are doing very well, and I just want to advise you to keep up whatever you are doing. And I'm certain that the next 26 years we'll meet you, and we'll probably be back here at your 100th birthday to give you our next interview.
Let's hope so, and let's hope that the world will last that long.
That's true.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
At this point in time, we'll take our final break, and when we return, we'll go straight into our featured presentation for this.
Eliminate breeding today. Keep mosquitoes away. Here are some ways to eliminate mosquito breeding sources around your home. Tightly cover water drums, barrels, tanks, cisterns, and septic tanks. Safely dispose of buckets, old tires, and any other unused containers and objects that hold water. Scrub the inside of PET containers, flower vases, and dish drainers every other day. Remove water from flower pot saucers and replace with damp sand. Overturn buckets, watering cans, wheelbarrows, and other containers and store them in a sheltered place. Adequately treat swimming pools and discard water from portable pools. Check roof gutters for chokes regularly. Fill up exposed tree holes, plant axils, and ground depressions with sand. If you are going for a holiday, empty toilet bowls and tanks and cover gully traps. Reduce the source. Eliminate breeding today, keep mosquitoes away.
This message was brought to you by the Nevis Health Promotion Unit in collaboration with Nevis Television 8.
And we are back. Some of our seniors met the students at the Marcus Preparatory School on the 12th of March. We'll now view some of these clips.
Mr. Wilkerson here. You all know what is a bailiff? Who know what is a bailiff? You all know what is a bailiff? You all know who is a magistrate?
Yes.
Okay. You all know who is a judge?
Yes.
You all know who is a juror?
Yes.
Okay. And you all know who is a bad player? A bad player?
Yes.
Okay. But Mr. Wilkinson here, when he was younger, he was the bailiff. So when my mother take a TV and she did not pay for it, and court decide they want their TV, they're not getting their money, they're going to call Mr. Wilkinson here, and he's going to go and he's going to collect the TV and take it back to court. So I'm going to ask him here to give you a little history about his working days as the bailiff. Mr. Wilkinson, the children are waiting.
Right. And when the case come against them, and they have to pay monies, and you don't do it on time, and you don't let to do it on time, the lawyer full of a warrant to come and collect either you or the monies. Sometimes you work with the police to assist you to go and apprehend those persons who are disobedient to the law, who don't abide by the law, the rules of the court. Sometimes you have to levy on their goods in their home. Sometimes, as the lady said, they send you for the goods that you owe for, and you haven't paid for them, and send you to go and pick them up. Sometimes some of them are in very good condition. Sometimes some of them are properly treated. So you get less for the less value, and then be a case against you, later back for the difference owing and what you didn't pay. You have to pay that, and you have to pay more money on that, the cost. And doing that, you have to pay for transportation, for the goods that you move from your properties. And something you get a porter and take them to the court and the office and offer them for sale. Sometimes you don't get much for them because of their condition. And you have to pay more money and pay for advertising sales, pay for a bellman to ring the bell, all kinds of things you have to pay for. So you put yourself in more problems. More basically, and you have to face a lot of problems which could be avoided if you have to pay for them as planned and get them and credit.
Grandma never tell you now all time saying?
Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth.
Thank you. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what the day may bring forth. Is anybody going to explain to them what that means?
Well, you all, as you all go up, and something might happen, and you boast about it. You say, oh, tomorrow, so and so, so and so, but tomorrow will come, and whatever you did want happen, something else happened. And so, you do not boast and say, oh, I am going to play ball, I'm going to write a letter, I'm going to this, because maybe tomorrow you might get sick, tomorrow something else might happen, and you do not get what you had wanted to finish or do. But as I just read it here in Solomon, in Proverbs, yeah, and he said, let not another man pray, let another man praise you, and your own mouth a stranger, and not your own lips. Some people like to praise themselves and say this and that, but let somebody else do it, you know? Because sometimes you praise yourself and you just say, oh, this I'm going to get 100% from the maths, and yeah. But maybe you say it and it doesn't happen, but somebody else would say, John is going to get 100 because he can do maths, you know. Different things happen.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Myra.
On the room, yeah. And then the hole is there, and whether you want to scratch match or you want to take piece of some fire from your, well, people used to cook and do, your fireplace or what, and put it inside that hole. But remember, when you start, you have to put some dry wood in there, so that when you get the wildfire or whatever you're going to use, match or whatever it is, the dry wood will be something there to catch the fire inside the hole. And then, after it catch, you notice it until it catch, you start packing from the little green wood accordingly until you pull out that hole, you know? And then you continue with your bush all around and so on. And then you throw on a lot of soil, lot of soil, and pack it good. Because if you don't pack it good, it bursts, you know. Yes. The fire will come out and burst, and you will only see the smoke here, and all the coals and that burner already will just mash up and so on. I don't see people do it. Well, my family doesn't do it, but I know. Wow.
So yeah. when they you light the back of the coal because the hole is, do you close up that hole after you would have lighted?
Yes, that's what I tell you. When
after you light it, you have to cover up everything.
You watch it good and see if it's burning. Yeah, if some of the dry woods and so that you inside it catch, because the dry wood have to catch, so that then to catch the green wood, because remember you cut the green woods and so into the green woods and so you burn in the coal from. So there's the hole, then you pack it in a card and pack it in a card and till you do it, you pull it right up. And then after you pull up, that time the fire inside burning, you know, burning the dry wood, and the dry wood then catching up with the green wood, because it's the green wood you're making the coal from. Yeah. And then you got your bush already, or you cut your bush and pack it all around from the ground up to right on top, and so on. And then you have to put on a lot of soil, dig up the soil and put, you know, pack it. And then you leave it there for days.
You leave it there for days, and then after you pull the coal, as Queen was saying, because she said you have to go back and you have to pull the coal. You always say when you pull the coal, after you would have pulled it, explain to them how you pull the coal, because I don't remember the process.
When you see the coal pit would be there burning for days, and you could watch it and see it start falling in, you know.
Oh, it started falling?
Falling, to say that, to show that the green woods and so, you know, have already turning into coals. Yeah, and you watch it for a couple of days, and you could watch it see it fall down, and then when you're ready to well, I'm going to say, leave whatever it is, you have a hoe or whatever it is, start pull away the footpath all around, and you pull it, and then you will see, well, it's burned. So you start to pull and the coals and them all around, and you have your water to out the fire. All around and so. Yeah. And then you might leave it for a day or two, let it cool off before you start picking up the cones, put them in the bags or the basket or whatever it is. Yeah, but some people put them long. Put them to lay down, long side. You know, but some people put them like that, all around, and do the same thing. Huh?
So for them stand up?
Yeah, well, that's what they say, you put them stand up, some. But some people put them to lay down.
And then after you pull the coal, you put them in bags and
yeah.
No more barbecues.
When we were growing up, people used to plant cotton.
Okay.
And yeah, they used to work the land and plant vines, cassava, just like what the agriculture people doing, you know?
Explain to them the process of, you all know what is cotton? Let me ask that first. And that's the cotton, not the cotton where your grandmother used to wipe she hand with, you know, that you know. The cotton where you make clothes with. You know how the process is? They used to do when Miss Level explained to you about the cotton. Cotton picking and cotton weeding and cotton, whatever cotton.
First thing you have to clean up your land. And then you might get the back. A long time is park, you people used to use. Park the land and make banks. And then you would go and take the hoe. Our parents used to take the hoe and haul it out and make banks. And then after you have the banks and so on, you have to get your cotton seed, you know. They have the cotton seed there from maybe the crop before or whatever. And you chop each holes. They used to chop the holes. I don't know if some people just use a cutlass, but you have to put them at maybe a distance like that. And you put maybe a half a dozen seeds in the hole and cover them accordingly. And then after the seeds, that might take about 4 or 5 days to start coming up. After they go to a certain height, you slip them out and you leave maybe, if you have 6 in a hole or 5 in a hole, you slip them out, you may left 2 in a hole, and if they look weak, you left 3. And they continue to grow. And you know, we weed them, our parents used to weed them. Yeah, we go with them, help them slip them out and weed them and everything. And they grow up until they start. But you have to weed them, you know, keep them clean. And after a certain time, and they grow up, you see them just come up and start to blossom or whatever it is. And insects, you know, like worms, they just have to buy poison and so from the ginnery and whatever it is and sprinkle them, poison the plants there, because worms just grow and eat them and so on. Yeah. And then they grow and they blossom, and after they start blossom, the blossom turn into pods. Yeah, and then after the pods, they grow big, they germinate big, and then they break away. And when it's time to bleach, you just go and pick the cotton. Pick the cotton, and then put them in bags or what and take them home. Yeah, and at some time when you have an amount or when you clean them, a lot of work is cotton, you know. You clean them. Them days you have to when you don't pick all them cotton and got to clean them and bring them in town in the ginnery and so on.
They reject them.
They reject them, and you got to go back home with them, go clean them and all kinds of things, and so because they have to be very clean, take out all these stains and just let the pure white cotton. Yeah.
So what would be the reason for them rejecting them?
If you take out these stains, you have to take out all the stains, and the stains them must be brown and, you know. Yeah, but the pure white and the clean white cotton. that our parents used to do to raise us. Yeah. When we finish school, we go home. Maybe we have to go over in the land, help them pick cotton.
And that's our package for this evening. I am your host, Shania Pemberton, wishing you a pleasant good night.